Hello students, welcome to my video lectures. Myself, Dr. Shubhendu Majumdar, Assistant Professor in Zoology of Shibpur Dinobandhu Institution College. Today, I am going to show you the karyotypes of some congenital human disorders resulting from aneuploidy. At the onset, let us understand some basic terminologies. Karyotyping. Karyotyping is a process where the chromosomes from certain cells are photographed following standard protocols. This helps us to understand the number and structure of chromosomes in a normal organism. This process also helps us to study chromosomal abnormalities by comparing with standard normal karyotypes of the same organism. Preparation and study of such karyotypes are very much an integral part of cytogenetic studies. Here, attention is given to study the length of the chromosomes, the position of the centromeres, banding patterns, and some other physical characteristics of autosomes and sex chromosomes. So, in brief, karyotypes describe the chromosome count of an organism and also depicts how the chromosomes look like under a light microscope. Another very much related and important term is karyogram. The picture of chromosomes in a photomicrograph are grouped in pairs, and then all such pairs of chromosomes are arranged in an orderly fashion based on their size and position of centromere in a standard format. This is known as karyogram or ideogram. I will elaborate this further in my next slide. Such studies on whole set of chromosomes are known as karyology. To prepare a karyogram, first the cell samples are collected, preferably from blood, amniotic fluid, etc. Then, to increase their number, the cells are grown in vitro in a culture plate. From this, cells are collected and pre-treated in a hypotonic solution. Due to osmotic gradient, the cells swell up and chromosomes spread. Then, colchicine is applied to arrest the cell from dividing further. These treated cells are then squashed on a slide, forcing the chromosomes on a single plane. The chromosomes are then stained, viewed under microscope, and an appropriate field of view is photographed. As you can see here, this is a field of view showing the chromosomes. After all these steps, we get a photomicrograph where you can see all the chromosomes. Now the job of a cytogeneticist is to carefully study all these chromosomes and prepare them and arrange them in an orderly fashion like this based on their size, banding patterns and position of centromere, and prepare a karyogram. So this is the photomicrograph and this is the karyogram of the same organism. We all know that we humans possess 23 pairs of chromosomes. Jo Hin Teo in the year 1955 prepared the first human karyogram, and this is the karyotype of a normal male. Here you can see 22 pairs of autosomes from 1 to 22 pairs of autosomes, and one X and one Y. We all know that males possess X and Y sex chromosomes. So this is a normal male karyotype. On the other hand, if you look at this one, you will find the same 22 pairs of autosomes which are similar in both the pictures, although the individuals are different. But here you will see there are two X chromosome and there is no Y chromosome. So this is the karyogram of a karyotype of a normal female. Now if we go back once again, now as we all know, this is the normal karyotype. So if we find any other karyotype of human where the number of chromosome or the shape of any such chromosome is different, then we can easily understand that there is some abnormalities. So understanding these two karyotype of male and female human beings, normal male and female human being, is very important. Now in this video lecture we are going to study karyotypes of some human aneuploidy, and so far we have learned about karyotypes and we have also seen this normal karyotype of human beings. So before going further in detail, let us quickly brush up our knowledge on aneuploidy. Aneuploidy is a type of numerical aberration. It's a numerical aberration of chromosomes wherein there is a change in the number of chromosomes. Either the chromosome numbers are increased or decreased. Numerical aberrations are therefore broadly grouped as euploidy and aneuploidy. Eu means true and ploid means set of chromosomes. So in euploidy, the entire set of chromosome either increase or decrease, and in a diploid organism, euploidy might lead to monoploid, triploid, tetraploid, pentaploid, and so on, and finally polyploid. So let us understand what it is. Monoploid means in case of a diploid, if one set of chromosome is decreased, then the chromosome number will reduce from 2n to n. So it will give rise to monoploid. If one set of chromosome is increased, then in case of a diploid organism, the 2n will rise to 3n. It will become a triploid. Similarly, if two sets of chromosome are increased, it will become 4n from 2n. So it becomes a tetraploid. Three sets of chromosomes are increased. So from 2n it becomes 5n. So it's a pentaploid. You can easily see this 4 means tetra and n stands for the set of chromosomes. So it's a tetraploid. This is a pentaploid and so on. And once we see more than 10 set of chromosomes have increased, which is very rare in animals, but yes, it is common in plants, then the situation we term as polyploid. Poly means many. So there are many set of chromosomes. So these polyploids are relatively common in plants but very rare, almost absent in animals, and these polyploidy leads to the change in morphology, fertility, ability of interbreed, cross, etc. The other type of numerical aberration is aneuploidy, and which is our main focus for today's lecture. Anu means not true and ploid means set of chromosomes. So in case of aneuploidy, one or a few chromosomes but not the entire set increase or decrease. Aneuploidy is further classified as hyperploidy or hypoploidy. In hyperploidy, the chromosome number increases, and in case of hypoploidy, the chromosome number decreases. So let us understand some of the examples to understand this aneuploidy in a better way. This is trisomy. Tri means three. Somy stands for chromosomes. So in a diploid organism, some chromosome is having 3 chromosomes. Okay, so it is written as 2n plus 1. That means in a particular position there are 3 chromosomes in spite of 2. So there is one extra chromosome. Then there is double trisomy. It is similar to trisomy, but trisomy has taken place in 2 places. Here, in case of trisomy, in case of human, the normal chromosome number is 23 pairs, that is 46. In case of trisomy, there will be 47 chromosomes, then 46 plus 1, 47. In case of double trisomy, there will be 48 chromosomes because 46 is 2n and there are two additional chromosomes, not at a single place but in two different places. So it shows double trisomy. It is having 48 chromosomes. Similarly, in case of tetrasomy also, there will be 48 chromosomes in case of human beings. But the difference with double trisomy is that in case of double trisomy, there will be increase in chromosome number in two different points. In each point there will be one chromosome will increase, whereas in case of tetrasomy, two chromosome will increase at single particular point. The total number of chromosome will be same in both the cases, but in case of double trisomy, there will be trisomy in two places. That means two places will have 3 chromosomes. In case of tetrasomy, one place will have 4 chromosomes. Similarly, in case of hypoploidy, there is monosomy, means usually there are 2 chromosomes, like any chromosome from 1 to 23. If we number the chromosomes, chromosome number 1 there are two chromosomes, chromosome number 2 there are 2 chromosomes. Like in monosomy, one chromosome will be lost, and at a particular point there will be only one chromosome in spite of 2. So it is written as 2n minus 1. In case of double monosomy, similar to double trisomy, here will be monosomy at 2 places, and nullisomy, that means at a single point there will be no chromosome at all. So total number wise, double monosomy and nullisomy will show similar number of chromosomes. Like in case of human being, if there is monosomy, there will be 45 chromosomes. If there is double monosomy, there will be 44 chromosomes, and in case of nullisomy also there will be 44 chromosomes. But in case of double monosomy, one chromosome, the changes will be in 2 places. That means 2 monosomy. And in case of nullisomy, 2 chromosome will disappear. That means at a particular point there will be no chromosome. Hope you have understood this. So, and the second important part is why these alterations in chromosomes occur. Let us understand that. Non-disjunction of chromosomes is one of the major reasons, which occurs when either homologous chromosomes fail to separate during anaphase 1. Here you can see this is the first meiotic division, but in normal situation, out of these 2 chromosomes, one should have come here and one should have come here, but due to non-disjunction both came in this direction, so it is creating some abnormal gametes. This gamete, in spite of having 2 chromosomes, having 3, this one is also having 3, and this, in spite of having 2, it is having 1. So what will happen when this will fuse with a normal gamete, that is a haploid gamete? What will happen? Once they fuse with this one, they will create abnormal gametes, and that means this will create trisomy. It's a normal gamete fertilizes with this one, it will create monosomy. Normal gamete fertilizes with this one, will create trisomy. Whereas the similar non-disjunction is also noticed in case of sister chromatids which fail to separate during anaphase 2. It is shown in this diagram. Here the meiosis 1 was okay, but in the second division non-disjunction occur here. So you can see here this normal disjunction of chromosomes, so it is having each of them having a single chromosome. But here both the chromosomes have come here. So what is happening? They are creating a abnormal gamete. Now if a normal gamete fuse with this one, this will produce a normal individual. This will also produce a normal individual because these gametes are normal through normal disjunction. But in case of non-disjunction, if a normal gamete fuse with this one, it will give rise to a trisomy individual. If this one produce with this one, then they will produce a monosomic individual. So hope this is clear to you. So non-disjunction is one of the major reason why the chromosome numbers alter. So, as we have understood all this, now here are some examples of aneuploidy of human beings due to change in the number of autosomes and sex chromosomes or allosomes. What are those? We have also mentioned the condition, frequency, and the name of the syndrome. These are the commonest ones. There are many others, but these are the commonest ones. It's Down syndrome occurs due to trisomy 21, that is trisomy in 21st chromosome. The frequency is 1 per 800 live birth. Then there are Edwards syndrome due to trisomy 18, frequency is 1 per 6000 live birth. Patau syndrome due to trisomy 13, 1 per 15,000 live birth. And all these three syndromes are due to aneuploidy in the autosomes, because you can see the chromosome numbers 13, 18, 21, all are autosomes. And then there are aneuploidy in sex chromosomes or allosomes too. What are those? The commonest one is Klinefelter syndrome due to one additional X chromosome having the genotype AA plus XXY. Frequency is 1 per 1000 live birth. Then there are Jacob syndrome, AA XYY, 1 per 1000 live birth. Then there are meta females, 1 per 1500 live birth. Genotype is AA plus XXX. And there is Turner syndrome, 1 per 1500 live birth, and the condition is AA plus X0. This is not XO, it is X0. Down syndrome is quite frequent, 1 per 800 live birth, and the characteristic features of a Down syndrome individual includes flat and wide face with a small chin, slanted eyes, flat nasal bridge and often protruding tongue, a short neck, abnormal patterns on the fingers and extra space between big toe and second toe, here you can see. Then single transverse palmar crease, this is in case of normal baby, and this is in case of a Down syndrome baby. You can see in the palm there is a single crease, it's known as palmar crease. Then they have delayed physical growth and short stature, sexually underdeveloped and sterile. Often they suffer from hypothyroidism, and they have very increased risk of obesity with age. They have retarded mental growth, they have dementia, and then some suffers from heart defects, and they are very susceptible to the respiratory disease, prone to developing early Alzheimer's and leukemia, and overall they have a shorter lifespan. Now if we see the karyotype of a Down syndrome individual, let us understand, as it is a trisomy of chromosome number 21, which is an autosome. So as it is an autosome, so Down syndrome can occur both in case of male as well as female. So this is the karyotype of a Down syndrome male. How we understand it's a male? Because here you can see in the sex chromosome there is X and Y, so it's a male karyotype. In this case you can see the karyotype is having 2X, so it's a female karyotype. Now how can we understand it's a Down syndrome? Here you can see it's a trisomy 21. So all of the chromosomes are having, all of the numbers, like this chromosome number 1, 2, 3, all are having 2 chromosomes because we are diploid organism. But here it's a case of trisomy, both in case of male and female. So there are 3 chromosomes instead of 1. So we call it trisomy. So that's why it is called trisomy 21. That means trisomy of chromosome 21. And the karyotype is depicted as 47, which indicates the total number of chromosome, and 21 plus indicates it's a trisomy of 21. Now let's go to the next syndrome, Klinefelter syndrome, which is observed at a frequency of 1 per 1000 live birth. Characteristic features. These are sterile males. Why males? I'll come to that later while explaining the karyotype. Sterile males with usually small testes and penis, enlargement of breasts, very few facial and body hair, development of other feminine secondary sexual characteristics. They have reduced muscle tones, weak bones, narrower shoulders and wider hips, and usually these individuals are tall. These males are quite tall and they have normal intelligence. Now if we see their karyotype, you can see it's a problem of, or it's aneuploidy of sex chromosome. If you see all the autosomes 1, 2, 3 up to 22, you will see all the autosomes are having 2 chromosomes each. So there is no numerical problem in autosomes. The problem lies here. In spite of having 2 sex chromosomes, they are having 1 additional sex chromosome, that is 1 additional X chromosome. So their genotype is XXY. As Y is present and Y have a region which contains the gene testis determining factor or TDF factor, so they are genotypically male. But as 1 additional X chromosome is present, so they are having many characters like females, secondary sexual characters of females, enlarged breasts, and due to this imbalance in the number or abnormality in the number of sex chromosomes, they are also sterile and the sex organs are also very ill developed. So this is the karyotype of a Klinefelter syndrome, and all Klinefelter individuals are males. Now the next and final type of syndrome that we are going to study today is the Turner syndrome. The frequency of a Turner syndrome is 1 per 1500 live birth. What are the characteristic features? They are sterile females, usually with amenorrhea. They don't have any menstrual cycle, and rudimentary ovaries. Again, they are females, why I'll explain later, and they have rudimentary ovaries. Short stature, webbed neck in the infancy. This is the webbing in the neck. They have this kind of a structure which is known as webbed neck. Broad and broad shield-like chest and widely spaced nipples, you can see. Lymphedema, that is swelling of the hands and feet of a newborn baby. Small fingernails, and there are inflammatory diseases of the middle ear, ultimately leading to hearing loss. Then they have visual impairments, and they have attention deficit hyperactivity disorder and non-verbal learning disability, but usually with normal intelligence. Now let us understand their karyotype. Why they are females? Because they are lacking Y chromosome. So their karyotype is mentioned as 45 because 1 chromosome is missing. So they have, instead of 46 minus 1, that is 45 number of chromosomes in total, and this is X0, not XO. Many mention as XO, don't mention it XO, it's X0. And as they are lacking this Y chromosome, so they are not males but they are females. This is the only viable monosomy in humans. However, 90% of these fetuses die before birth. So in the karyotype, the only abnormality is here in the sex chromosome again. So this is reduction in the number of chromosomes. So this is a kind of monosomy. So monosomy of sex chromosome. See, all the other autosomes are absolutely fine, but 1 sex chromosome is missing. These are some of the important references. These books you can always refer to, and I have gone through these web links. Thank you for watching. Hope this video was helpful for you.